everybody, I'm back today with a new video for a cherry on top. I'm showing you a sketch. This is a sketch that I designed. I'm going to be using this sketch for my project today, and we're going to talk about building a scene on our scrapbook pages. So I've gone ahead and embossed some of this beautiful craft cardstock from my stash, and we're going to start our layout by inking up this craft cardstock with just some vintage photo distress oxide ink. I'm actually going to use all three of the panels that I dry embossed, and we're going to use them in some unique ways so that we can pull them throughout our entire layout today. I'm going to cut two 2-inch strips from this first panel. And it is a little difficult to cut because this paper is very thick, and added bonus, it is now embossed. So the embossing folder I'm using is a texture fade from Sizzix and Tim Holtz. I'm inking the edges because we're actually going to put these two strips together to create this paper across part of our page, almost like a border. The papers that I'm using today are from Photoplay. This is their Vineyard collection. I have both the papers and the ephemera pack. I'm cutting myself a little rectangle here, and that's going to be sort of the base for our layout today. Now I'm going to go ahead and mat my two photos with my second embossed panel. If you want to play along with this sketch challenge, I have posted the sketch along with the challenge over in Cherry on Top's message board. If you play along and add your layout to the thread, you have until the end of January, and then I'm going to pull a winner for 2 $5 gift certificates to the shop. So I will leave the link directly to that sketch challenge for you if you would like to participate. You can use the sketch, create a layout, and then post your layout into the gallery and into the message board thread. I'm doing a double mat on my photo because I want the texture from the embossed pieces, but I want a little bit of color. So I grabbed this pattern paper to mat my photos as well. This layout is going to have 2 photos on it, and this is the first one that's coming up on my channel. I have used the Vineyard collection to scrapbook some of my travel photos. We visited 2 vineyards, 2 wineries while we were away, and so I'm going to use this collection and this ephemera to get those parts of my vacation scrapbooked. So now I'm going to go ahead and get these layers together on my page. I'm just using some essential white cardstock from 49th and Market. And you can kind of see how I am extending that embossed paper so that it goes almost all the way across my layout today. And now I'm taking a pencil and I'm just making a couple of little pencil marks. I want to add like cool wine dripping to this layout. I want to do something that looks, like some wine dripping. I'm going to grab a bunch of inks from my stash. I have some gold ink, I have some like plum colored ink, and some ink that is quite aptly named Merlot. And you can see, I'm just tossing it onto this paper. I want kind of big drips. I want it to look like the wine is kind of splashing onto the page. Then I'm going to pick the paper up once I have all of the different inks on the paper. I'm going to tap it on my tabletop so that the ink is kind of run down on my page a little bit. I'm just going to let it run until I like the way that it looks, and then I'm going to set it aside to dry completely. Once it's completely dry, you can see how gorgeous it looks. I love it. And now we can start assembling our page. So you can see here I've made some wax seals. Look how gorgeous that is. So pretty. And we're going to use one of those matte wax seals on the page. In fact, in addition to using the Vineyard collection for all of my vineyard photos from my trip, I also have included a wax seal on each of my pages. and in some cases, more than one. So I love how the wax seals pair with like the whole wine thing. I think it's just so pretty and absolutely perfect. I also am really loving kind of rediscovering how much I like embossing folders and embossing paper for some extra texture. So the two photographs I have here, one of them is a rose bush that was blooming. So we went on vacation in October, and the idea of having a rose bush that is in full bloom and gorgeous in October is crazy. And yet, at this vineyard outside, there was a rose bush in full bloom. And the other photo from this specific winery was the bottle of wine that I bought. So actually, I bought a couple bottles of this wine. It was my favorite wine from all of the different wines that we tasted at both of the vineyards that we visited. So these photos are from Horton's Vineyard or Horton Cellars, and this wine, it's like, I like very sweet wine. So this is a wine that's kind of, it has this chocolate taste to it. It's so good. Like, it's not super sweet, but even my husband, who does not like sweet wine, was like, this is delicious. So I bought more than one bottle of this wine, and it's so good. So I'm going to pop up the photo of the rose bush, and I have my bottle of wine that one of the bottles of wine that I purchased at the vineyard as well on this page. So I want to create a scene on my scrapbook page today. I want to build up a scene on top of that embossed strip that goes off to the right side. You can kind of see me there playing around with it. So I'm choosing stickers that go together, both in style and in scale. And that way, this area, this cluster beside my photos, does not look like just a random cluster of embellishments, but it looks like all these little pieces fit together and create almost like a diorama or a scene across that strip of embossed paper. I hope that makes sense. So I've chosen two kind of main stickers. They have the cheese and the wine glasses and the wine bottles, some corks, but they're all done in this pretty kind of watercolor hand-drawn look to them. Really liked them. And scale-wise, the two wine glasses were the same size. The two grapes on the two separate stickers were the same size. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the larger one, and then I'm going to pop up the smaller one to give it some depth. And then I grabbed this sticker, which is a grapevine, and I'm just cutting away the thick, heavy white border around the sticker. I felt like it was just too big and too heavy. But again, this grape cluster is the same kind of hand-drawn look and the same scale as the other two stickers I've chosen to add to my page. I'm also cutting this sticker in half so that I can spread it across on either side of my photos. And then I actually ended up using a third little piece of the sticker too. So this kind of large grape cluster sticker is going to end up in 3 different spots on my layout. I used my embossing powder tool to actually take the sticky off the back of these stickers, and that way I can kind of move them around and I can cut off this white edge and get them all exactly where I want them, and then I can stick them down myself once I have the placement for them correct. One more sticker. I felt like I wanted to bring some height up behind my scene and a little bit more color. So here's the scene after it's all designed, ready to be restuck down again. And I think it turned out so pretty. It was exactly what I wanted for my layout today. Adding a little bit of lift with the foam tape behind that one sticker here, and then you can see off to the left how that little bunch of grapes is kind of sticking off the edge of the page. So what I'm gonna do is when I trim that off, I just tucked that little piece on the other side behind the one larger rectangle shaped sticker. The little die cut tab above my photo says favorite wine. For a title, I'm going to make my own thickers using a die from my stash and one of the beautiful wood grain papers from the collection. For the title, I'm going with Got Wine with a question mark. And then I'm going to add a little bit of journaling in the bottom that says, yes, this is the wine I got because it was my favorite, and the date. And here's my layout all finished. Be sure to head down into the description box below. There is a coordinating blog post over at A Cherry on Top to go along with my video today. And if you are interested in purchasing or grabbing any of these fun products for your own wine adventure, you can find all the links you'll need to all of those things down below as well. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye.